How the hell are you? APDL Season 5. It is week 1. And boy oh boy, am I excited. My name's Josh. If you're new here, if you've never watched a video, if you've never played in the APDL, hi, how's it going? Glad you're here. Let's get into our game. It is week 1. Our game is against the North Dakota Noiverns, coached by E-Dahl. Great coach. Really scary draft. Preparing for this team was so hard, and it kind of was to a point where I kind of had to say, like, we just might not be able to win if certain Pokemon are there. But I think I built a team that gives us the best chance. And I think, overall, we're ready for it. So let's get into the team builder, and we can kind of walk you through what we're bringing this week, and then we'll get into the gameplay. So our week 1 team builder starts off with our lead, Hariyama, Ronan the Hariyama. So this thing is a monster. Hariyama is so thick and so fat. We have max HP, max attack, adamant nature, and 4 points in speed to get the leg up on some of his Pokemon that are actually also base 50 speed. So the 4 points in speed is actually pretty significant in kind of not speed tying with some of his mons. So we're on Guts, Flame Orb set. Our attacks, we're rocking Fake Out, Close Combat, Thunder Punch, and Earthquake. I'm really excited about the Hariyama this week. It one-shots a number of things on his team. With Fake Out to proc my Flame Orb, we're going to have Guts from the beginning of the game on, and it'll be kind of like our big physical attacker for this week. Something that Hariyama is well suited for. On the defensive side of the house, for physical defense, we're bringing Legion. Of course we are. Max HP, max special defense, a little bit in speed, I think also to outspeed one of his things that has base 30 speed. Our speed tiers lined up really closely this week. So like the speed for Steelix was actually like, the 4 points is actually useful. I forget against what, but it's there. So Rockhead for our ability, leftovers. Really, we just made Steelix try and be as unkillable as possible. Attacks for this week, Earthquake and Stone Edge are just the best attacking moves I have. Stealth Rock to break sashes and give Infernape a hard time to switch in over and over again. Kind of make it, less friendly for lots of switches, which would soften things up for Hariyama and some of our other attackers. And then we're running Explosion because it's Gen 4 and everything that in this competitive tier evidently runs Explosion. So we've got it there as a cheeky finisher if we get into a 1v1 where I can't kill it and I know I'm going to die, or it's, the doom and gloom is here. We can always just click the little explodey button and go boom. But Steelix is our main physical wall, and it's got enough special investment to live some hits and be kind of like just an unkillable monster. Speaking of unkillable monsters, I love this Meganium set. Vanguard is so ready. For those of you that laughed at me for drafting this thing, and I don't know if you did, but if you did, you're wrong, and here's why. Overgrow Light Clay, Dual Screens, Synthesis, and Toxic. Try and outstall me. I just realized that I don't have the investment on screen here for Meganium, but we are, let's see, I believe we are max HP, max special defense. That is correct, and then 4 points in speed. Just, again, giving it just a little bit of a speed edge for the things that we're going to speed tie with. But then, yeah, Toxic will work its magic and just kind of kill things over time. Synthesis for really reliable recovery. And then, the dual screens helps Meganium just like live forever. And it also lets, other members of my team that are a little bit more frail be able to switch in on things or just kind of be able to sit there in front of some of his offensive threats. And I think this is... I love this Meganium set. You better watch out for it if you ever play me. Next up, and one of those frail things that Meganium is going to try and help protect is Weavile. Atlas is rocking a choice band this week. Ice Shard for priority. Ice Punch is a really great stab move. Pursuit annihilates things in this generation. And then Low Kick is there for things like Rhydon and Regice. Does quite a bit to slacking as well. So it's really kind of like my fourth move, something super effective against some of those bigger threats that might take the Ice Beam, or the Ice Beam, the Ice Shard, and the Pursuit a little bit better than others. Investment for Weavile, we are rocking max attack, Jolly Nature, with 212 in speed. That was enough to outspeed everything on his team. The rest is just going into special defense because to hopefully live against something like Slowbro or something that was going to try and attack me. Weavile in testing was kind of hit or miss. When it got kills, it got kills. But when it died and was kind of a flop, it was like a big flop. So I think Weavile is going to be like kind of that all season. It's either going to be like a big boom or bust pick for me. It's either going to pick up kills and be a terror, or it's going to be not a liability, but something that's just easily knocked out and might go 1-1. Our other big offensive threat, for fast offense this week is Scorch the Typhlosion. We're running choice specs, and again, I don't know why the investment stuff isn't showing up. I did save over a couple of things, so it might not have taken it, I guess. But our investment for the Typhlosion this week is max special attack, max speed, timid nature, with 4 points in special defense. We're rocking the choice specs to give us some more offensive firepower. Eruption deletes things if I'm at full health. It does a ton of really, really good damage. Slowbro is really the only thing that is not afraid of that. Fire Blast is really good for when I take damage. It's just our other really good high hitting fire type move. Focus Blast is there for things like Rhyperior, Infernape. And then HP Dark is there for the Slowbro and the Driftbloom. So I'm fast enough to outspeed quite a few things. I kill Infernape with a Focus Blast, but I have to live a Stone Edge, which maybe he doesn't run it. And if there's no speed investment from the Infernape, or like the investment's weird, maybe I'm faster. But I expect to be 2 points slower than Infernape. This is not a counter to that by any means, but it does kill it in one hit, which is important. And I at least live a fire type attack from it. And then to round out the team, I toyed around with like Blastoise right away, thinking, okay, bulky special attacker, has rapid spin. E-Dahl's got a bunch of hazard setters. Drapion gets spikes and toxic spikes. It has a couple of different rockers. So like Rapid Spin is something that I really want on my team. So I thought Blastoise would be a really good pick. Kind of rounds out a Firewater Grass core that I have going on. And, you know, it just gets really good moves. However, Blastoise felt really underwhelming in scrims and in testing. So instead, we opted for North Star, which I guess, again, doesn't have the investment. I'm sorry, guys. I feel like such a schlep here. I guess I know to import stuff fresh and not save over, I guess. Anyways, the investment for Mesprit is not what you'd expect. We're running max special attack, of course, but we're max speed timid. And we're running Calm Mind. The max speed is there for a number of different things, just to let me outspeed some of the lower half of his team. He's got ridiculous speed tiers. I should see if I could pull that up real quick for you guys. E-Dahl's speed tiers are ridiculous. He has Drapion at 95, Raichu and Slacking are both base 100, Infernape is 108, and Sceptile is 120. However, a max speed Drifblim is at 283 speed, which is exactly 1 point slower than my timid Mesprit. I don't know how that worked out, but it did. So the max speed lets me outspeed max speed Drifblim and everything underneath that. So Drifblim, Shelgon, Regice, Rhyperior, Slowking. That is why we're timid nature, instead of just throwing everything in attack and HP. Our life orb is there for a little bit of extra oomph. And then we've got Psychic and Thunderbolt along with HP Ground to kind of round out really good coverage for everything. So Mesprit will hopefully just hit Calm Mind once and then go to town with some Psychics. That's kind of the game plan for it. If Slowbro switches in to try and be a wall, we have Thunderbolt. And HP Ground is there for Raichu, Rhyperior, stuff like that. So Infernape. Well, Psychic obliterates that. But anyways, that's enough rambling. I've talked too much. I'm disappointed in myself for the team builder being all scuffed. Yeah, let's get into the game. Okay, so with Gen 4, we are doing the weird thing where you can't see what the other team has. So we are going to lead with our Hariyama, and he leads Drapion. So in scrims, something that I was really afraid of was a lead Infernape. For a number of reasons, mainly because it just deletes a lot of things in one hit. But with Hariyama, I can fake out, get a little bit of chip damage, proc my burn, and then click Earthquake, and potentially live the hit from Infernape and kill it with Earthquake. Without the burn and without the fake out on turn one, the max I do is like 90 something with her EQ. So I need the fake out. So I thought, okay, we're going to lead Ronan, fake out Earthquake, kill something. Well, turns out he leads Drapion instead of Infernape, but the result is the same. He lays down Toxic Spikes and we get a kill with Earthquake. So, pretty good. We've got burn, we're at full health. Yes, he has a Toxic Spike down, but it was only one, so we're not going to be toxic on switch in, just poisoned, which sucks for the team, but it's not something that we can't overcome. We take our burn damage, and he sends in Slowking, which I immediately Thunder Punch. I sat there for a number of seconds and thought to myself, this could be max defense Slowking. He could fire off a Psychic. I might die, but the thought of getting a max attack Thunder Punch with all of the damage behind it, I really wanted to do it. Now, I could have switched into Meganium here and then just wore it down with Toxic, which is what the Meganium was built for. Because Slowking, ironically, was like kind of tough to deal with. But the Meganium set just deletes this thing. It can set up in my face. It can, light screen is a beautiful thing. So I just go for the Thunder Punch. Just let's get as much damage off as we can. If we die, whatever, Hariyama then goes like, essentially two for one. Because Weavile can come in and pursue something if he tries to switch out or whatever. He can get the cleanup. But instead, the Slowking decides to go for a Calm Mind. And then stays in. So Hariyama gets 2 kills. I think he probably expected me to switch out because he had set up and was like, oh yeah, Psychic's coming. I don't want to lose Hariyama. I'm just going to stay in. Maybe he didn't want something else to take a Thunder Punch. I went for Earthquake because Raichu is the thing. And I was like, okay, I can't Thunder Punch into a Raichu, but I can Earthquake and kill it. And EQ still does enough damage to kill a max defense Slowking with as much health as he had left. So we're 4 turns in, and we're up 2-0, and this is great. And now the Fire Monkey comes in. And there's nothing I can do. I don't want to switch something in because it'll just die right off the bat. So I just take the close combat, let Hariyama go down. I did click Earthquake in case I could kill it. But Infernape is obviously faster and wrecks us with CC. So my next switch in is Typhlosion. So Typhlosion is the fastest thing that can kill Infernape that I have. Weavile cannot kill this thing. Meganium doesn't have an attacking move. Mesprit is slow and has no defensive investment, so I just probably die. Steelix dies. So, the only hope I have is Typhlosion. If he's got the right speed investment, he'll be 2 points faster than me. We've seen close combat. This thing probably has U-turn. Most sets run Overheat. And then the last move could be a mix of things. I'm really hoping it's not Stone Edge. And if it is Stone Edge, we need it to miss or I'm dead. And then this could be like a 4-0. Or, somehow I make the right reads and stall until Weavile can come in and, kill it somehow. And then I'm way in the hole. So looking at the situation, I click Focus Blast, and I just have to hope and pray that Pokemon is kind with me. Ho-Oh and Lugia were looking down on me. We not only get the miss on the Stone Edge, but in the same turn we hit the Focus Blast. And now DJ is going to say that my luck is insane and that it's just a continuation of last season. And you know what, sir? You would be right. That was extremely lucky. We got it, but that's Pokemon, man. If it's not 100% accurate, it's 50-50, and we won the 50-50s. So Infernape goes down. He sends in Shelgon. I'm like, what in the heck is this little thing doing? It's probably going to D-dance. But you know who's like the... You know who doesn't care about little baby Shelgon? Legion. Who eats up the outrage. Which is a great opportunity for me to just sit here and click stealth rocks, and then just win the 1v1 and whittle this thing down. Earthquake does about 50% damage. Get the confusion. He goes for brick break, which does 30%, and then I just wrap things up with another EQ. So Legion gets a kill and not only walls off something, and then Rhyperior comes in and I just die. But good information for me to know, as it's got Earthquake. It's probably got some speed investment, I think. Maybe he does. I don't know for sure. Let me pull up his Poke Paste. Oh, I also realized that Steelix dying was not reported in the scores, so I'm going to fix that. On the fly, I'm so unprofessional today. Also, Hariyama died. What the hell? Sorry about that. Okay, so Hariyama 2-1, Typhlosion 2-0. Okay, so what was I doing? Oh yeah, I was looking at the Poke Pastes for this Rhyperior, which was, he did have 84 invested in speed. So we learned that from Steelix not being... No. Rhyperior's got to be faster normally, right? Rhyperior, base 40 speed. Steelix, base 30. Yeah, always going to be faster, especially with speed investment. Now that you got to see all of that, I didn't want or need to switch anything in and preserve Steelix. It had done its job. I did click Explosion just in case, to see what would happen. But I died before we could get it off. So in comes Mesprit as my kind of, hey, we fire off 2 Psychics, this thing dies. He can't use Earthquake against me. I don't really know. It's probably got Stealth Rocks. It's probably got Stone Edge. All things that I'm going to live. But it's got Mega Horn, and I don't live that. So Mesprit goes down. And then I can bring in Weavile. So the Weavile here is able to click really anything and get a kill. I'm thinking, probably I just go with Ice Punch or, Low Kick. Those are kind of like my 2 options here. Pursuit, it's not going to be the right play. And Ice Shard, I don't need priority. I'm going to be faster anyway, so I might as well go with like the harder hitting move. So we just click Ice Punch and we get the kill. Rhyperior goes down, and then Regice is his last Pokemon. So at this point, I have Typhlosion, Weavile, and then Meganium in the back. Which Meganium, if I get screens up, could 1v1 this thing. But I have to live an Ice Beam, get a light screen off, then Synthesis, then Toxic. So there's a lot of things that have to happen before we can start whittling this thing down. Typhlosion kills it with 1 move. And I need to switch out because Weavile's Low Kick does like 45 to 50%, kind of in that ballpark, about half. Too much for what I have going on now. So I expect an Ice Beam or something like that, and he goes for Thunderbolt, which does just a little bit of damage to Typhlosion. And now I'm thinking, okay, I am too low to click Eruption, so we just click Fire Blast and try and knock this thing out. Regice is very specially bulky, so it takes a Fire Blast, it lives on 4%, and then I'm lucky enough to live another Thunderbolt, and with another Fire Blast, we take the win. And we get a 3-0 against E-Dahl. So A little bit of a back and forth in the middle of that game, especially with the Infernape and trying to play around that. I did get lucky with the Stone Edge miss, but overall, I feel like I brought a good team. I thought I played pretty well, and we get a nice 3-0 to start the season. So, and a division win, which is not insignificant. We're playing for seeding this whole season. All 16 teams are going to make the playoffs, which is hype. But we want to be Division 4 champions, and we want to have the best seed possible going into playoffs. So, good 4-0 win. Great job, E-Dahl. Great game. Sorry about the Stone Edge miss, but as DJ would say, if it's not 100%, it's 50%. And I came out on top with that result today. So, watch for next week. I'm sure power rankings and stuff will go up this weekend. A lot of really great games getting played so far, and Season 5 off to a good start. So thanks so much for watching. We will catch you in the next video. Go Mamoswines.